Okay, guys, we are out here trying to locate these dogs that we were notified had been dumped. And, because we're in the country, let me let y'all see outside my window. The first you'll see is like nothing. And then you'll hit the occasional cows, like, right, well, it's not even there anymore. But this is it. This is the kind of what we deal with on a daily basis. So when a dog has been dumped, a lot of times it will stay in its area, but sometimes
it has so much area that it could cover and hide.
it's impossible for us to find them sometimes. And April, when we were just riding by, what did we find?
Well, the first sign I look for is buzzards, because I think worst case scenario, and you do have to think worst case scenario when you've got dogs that have been dumped and you've got rural area, you've got neighbors that may not possibly like the sign of a stray dog in the area or what have you. Anytime I see a cluster of buzzards, I automatically want to see what they're feasting off of. And we stopped, and it's really, all the fur's been picked off of the carcass. It's really hard to tell. I think we narrowed out it wasn't a dog. It's got the shape of a cat, so it could possibly be a feral cat, maybe a bobcat, or another form of cat-like creature out here in these woods, because they're, even though we are in South Alabama, there's still some not so cute things lurking around out here in the woods. So, and that's a danger in itself, to dogs being dumped out deep in the woods like this. Just their survival is just the odds are stacked against them.
And this time it was a cat, but there's been many a times that we've come up and seen dogs.
Yeah.
And people dump them and think dogs that have been owned are going to be resilient enough, and even that, and for that matter, cats too. But when they're domesticated and they've been depending on that person for all their life, how resilient would you be if you had been able to go to the grocery store all your life, and then all of a sudden the grocery store doesn't exist anymore? How resilient would you be? So, I mean, it's just,
It's sad.
it really is. And dumping an animal is not the answer to the problem. So, I just,
Spaying and neutering is the answer.
say it again, girlfriends.
Feel like Bob Barker. Spaying and neutering your animal is the answer to this problem.
And explain to people why you want to not only fix the females, why you want to fix the males too. Because this is what I hear all the time. Well, I want a boy, so I ain't got to worry about having no babies.
Well, first of all, they can get testicular cancer. Second of all, they can be a daddy to the next door neighbor that chooses not to spay his female dog or cat. A male can smell another female up to a mile away, and they will search and search and search for that scent until they finally find it. So your roaming comes in. Your males tend to roam because they're hunting that scent. Aggression. Some males have an aggression problem, and it curbs their aggression. And I suggest that anybody spay or neuter their animal before it reaches 6 months of age. They hit their sexual peak. They hit their maturity level at 6 months of age. It's best to get it done before they reach 6 months. Yeah. So any learned or acquired behavior,
Like humping?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is all that humping, there'd be a whole lot less of it if
Sure would. And they're healthy and happier pets. I mean, overall, they're healthy and they're happy. That's my take on it.
And I know y'all are seeing a little bit out of April's window what we're passing, but what we're passing is like, you know, real backwoods type living situations. This is a lot of farm, a lot of, it's very rural. It's a lot of poor people live out here, you know, that simply can't afford to feed that extra animal that comes up in their yard, even though they may want to.
We've got people living in campers.
Yeah, I mean, there's people out here that live in campers. There's a couple we know of that live down the road in a very old, what I would say is unlivable boathouse. And, you know, this is the same road that we rescued another one of our dogs from. And as we were speaking to the neighbors, they had been abandoned by their owner. She moved and just left them there. Well, the county, because there is no county animal control, the county sheriff's department came out and deemed all these dogs that this lady had owned a public nuisance and gave the neighbors in her community free range to shoot those animals on site. Am I lying, April?
No, she's not.
And that is correct. Law enforcement officers did say that. These animals were owned.
And one of them has been put down by a gun.
Yeah, and one of them has been shot and put down by a gun. And the rest have slowly disappeared before we were made aware of this situation. Now, once we made aware of it, the last dog that we knew of, who is this? That we knew of was,
Not to interrupt you, but them two are hung up. Oh, wonderful. This is why you fixed. Oh, I thought they weren't hung up. This is why you fixed.
They were
They
punching.
were hung up, or either they were trying.
This is one of our friends right here. He knows us. Who this is, I don't know. I don't know who this is. He's owned. But where's Mama?
I don't know, but all these dogs run and scare me. Not scare me in a bad way, but
Where are their owners?
yeah.
And we are in somebody's yard, but we know these people. These people help us
They try to help look
after our mama dog. But now, who this little
scared.
hoochie mama is down here, I don't know. Stay tuned. We're fixing to go find out.